was going to ask you right now.
Have you ever been part of a group project where two or more of the members got into a disagreement? I'm sure most of you have, so you'll know where I'm coming from when I say workplace conflict can be extremely detrimental to achieving your goals. Now, conflict in the workplace is almost unavoidable. Studies have shown that Americans, on average, spend 2 or more hours a week dealing with these conflicts. Europeans spend more than 3 hours a week dealing with them. This is a huge drain not only on the normal employees, but also on companies' human resource departments. Human resource employees report on average spending more than 5 hours a week dealing and mediating conflicts in the workplace. Now, this is time that can be much better spent working on important projects or coming up with new ideas for the company. After hearing my presentation, you'll know a lot more about conflict in the workplace and how to properly manage it. Now, there are a lot of effects caused by conflict in the workplace, and most of them are negative. So let's talk about these in general for a bit. The most common negative effects are personal attacks, insults, and sickness or absence from both parties. These make up more than 50% of the outcomes of workplace conflict. The other ones are cross-departmental conflict, bullying, employees leaving, being fired, or moved to other departments, and failure of the project. Now, the first two are more of a personal problem. They'll make it harder for the employees themselves to get their work done and could lead to their own projects not working out. The second two, however, are problems on a much wider scale because they can make the conflict spread much quicker and throughout the entire organization, leading to the final four problems, which will prove extremely detrimental to anything your company is trying to accomplish and could result in the end of your company or the tarnishing of your reputation. Now, there are quite a few ways that you can properly manage these problems. So, there are quite a few good ways that you can manage conflict. Now, the most effective way, when possible, is to avoid it if you can. Now, this isn't really a cure-all solution because, let's be honest, you're not going to be able to avoid conflict 100% of the time. So, here are a couple ways to manage it when you can't avoid it. Get to know your employees on a more personal level, because if you really know them, you'll know which people will clash and which people will work together, which will help you arrange them in a way that they will not get into arguments all the time. Make sure that you identify any possible problems beforehand, because you don't want to find out in the middle of a project that two people hate each other's guts, because that's not going to end very well. Now, this also helps you because another great way to manage conflict is to identify tension before it comes to a fight or conflict. A good way to do this is with having more one-on-one talks with your employees, taking a little time out of your schedule to get to talk to your employees and find out any problems can save you a lot of time, money, and resources in the future. If you can't stop the conflict altogether, a good way is to mediate. If you see something going on, step in and try and help them work it out. This will help not only your HR people, who will save a lot of time, which they could be using for something else, and it will also help you grow closer to your employees on a personal level. You can also set the example. If your employees see you constantly fighting and bickering with your peers or your superiors, then they're going to think that's okay. So don't do that. Make sure that you're respectful to your peers and your superiors. Now, these have just been a few good ways that you can help manage conflict. So as you can see, there are many great ways that you can manage and avoid conflict. leading to your workplace becoming even more productive, efficient, and leading to more happy workers, which will in turn lead them to work harder and make your company thrive. Remember, ignoring the problem won't make it go away. So management is extremely important.